Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review the new action thriller Lockdown, which focuses on a man and his wife who find out that his sister is living homeless in an abandoned school, and he must go find her during COVID, which years in the future, most of humanity has died. But little does he know that a group of alt-right Confederate flag waving men are like, we need to kill all the homeless. They're the ones spreading COVID. So he goes to try to find his sister, and of course he meets all of these men, and things come to blows. And I looked up this film on IMDb, and apparently the new title, according to IMDb, is COVID-19 Invasion. And between that and the concept of this movie, I just feel it's really insensitive and a really poor time to be making this movie when we're still dealing with COVID in a substantial way. Like, there's a huge wave of Omicron, and it's just like, why would you make this now? And it just feels like this is done in really bad taste, and there's been a few movies that have been made that have been done in really bad taste. And also, something that's corny and silly in this movie, it's like, how do we tell people that somebody has COVID and is sick? Just like, what is this, Mean Girls? I'm sick. So basically, the film doesn't have a whole lot of nuance, and the tricky thing is, like, Micah, Lyons, who wrote and directed this film, this has a very low budget, and you can tell. The film doesn't really transcend its budget. It doesn't really offer anything that's like, hey, this has something special here, even if it might be restricted by its budget. No, the concept is really simple and insensitive. The setup is very simplistic. It's just like, here's an abandoned school, and people are shooting each other and trying to kill each other. And this idea, like, the biggest draw of the film is the fact that, like, the leader of this gang is former pro wrestler Kevin Nash. And it's like, you know, he had small roles in the Punisher movie with Thomas Jane and in John Wick, but I don't know, and like The Longest Yard, but I don't know if having like Kevin Nash in your movie is like the biggest draw for this movie. And the story feels like it could have been wrapped up like pretty quickly, but it just drawn out for an hour and 25 minutes with really awkward and flat acting from like everybody. It's boring, and the action is poorly choreographed and poorly shot. So it's like, this action thriller doesn't have good action, it doesn't have interesting characters, and it has a really low budget and just kind of plays itself out, and you're just like, I would say, like, you know, if you're a huge action thriller fan, you know, it's worth a watch, but like, I think what just the icing on the cake on this one is like, this is a really uncomfortable and insensitive approach to filmmaking when it's just like, there's a lot of people still dying from COVID and being affected by COVID, and you're just like, let's make a movie, COVID-19 Invasion. Which, like I said, the title that I had when I got the screener was Lockdown, so I'm going to refer to it as Lockdown, but if that's really the new title, that's just that cherry right on top. So, don't know if I'd really recommend this one. I definitely wouldn't watch it again. But those are my thoughts on Lockdown. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.